We're here at Bachman's Lyndale today taping our Facebook Live session for you, covering how to create your outdoor room. And we want to talk about this Memorial Weekend because this Memorial Weekend is a little bit different than Memorial Weekends of the past, where probably you congregated with 50 or 60 of your closest friends, and you can't do that this year. So what we thought we would do is cover a way for you to spend some creative time creating a room that works for you, your family, neighbors, and some close friends that hopefully you can utilize over Memorial Weekend. We do Facebook Live segments every Wednesday and every Friday at noon, so please join us in the future as well. And we archive our old segments, so there's lots of great information, tips and tricks for all of you. And thanks for joining us today. All right, today we're talking about the outdoor room. The outdoor room has become somewhat of an outdoor tradition where people are adding an extra room onto their home by going outside. And this space has become very important to people. It's become a great social space, but it's also a great outlet for creativity. So we're going to talk about how to create your outdoor room today. So like with all building and creations, you need to have the same principles as if you were building a room. And a room in your home would have a floor, it would have walls, and it would have a ceiling. So we're going to talk about different ways that you can accomplish that based on your space. Everybody has different space. You may determine that the best place for your room is up against your house. It may be on a patio slab that you have somewhere. It could be on the grass. It could be in a sport court. It could be in multiple places. So that becomes your floor or your foundation. And you can either establish your space through your concrete floor or you can use a rug, because a rug instantly establishes your space and it brings in color. To establish your walls, we are very fortunate here to have this beautiful pergola which establishes all of our space. But to establish your walls, you can use a wall of your home. We have in our background, as you can see, a row of arborvitae, which makes for a great wall. You could certainly go to Menards or Home Depot or Lowe's and get an 8-foot fence piece. They're under $100. You could create your wall space by just putting together a couple of fence segments. You could use trellises, you could use vines. And then we talk about the ceiling. And the ceiling of your room can be anything. We're fortunate enough to have a pergola, but it could be an umbrella. It could be a tree if you can position your room to be under a beautiful tree. It could be an awning. Frankly, it can be the open sky if that's of interest to you. So that's how you build your space. Those are the principles that you want to take into consideration as floor, walls, and ceiling in whatever way works for you. And remember, this is something you can be very creative about, so you can make your own thing and you can text us your ideas and suggestions. So then what you want to do is determine, how do I want to use this space, or what's the right space for me and my family? So as you can see here, we have what we call a chat group. So this is a little bit more of an intimate setting, and it's a seating setting. We have quite a large table here, so you could certainly eat here as well. But is it that you want to entertain and chat with people? Do you want to extend your kitchen and create a dining area where you might do all of your meals? Or is this your escape? Is this your solitude and your peace, and you want this just for you? Once you determine what you plan to do with the room, then you want to be able to furnish it accordingly. So as I said, this is very much intimate chatting space. This is where you could sit with your family. This is where you could sit with your neighbors and your best friends all around. You can even social distance by just pushing things out a little bit, which I think is important. You could have cocktails and appetizers right here because you have a lovely table to work with. Now, if you decided that this instead was an extension of your kitchen, you would likely want a dining room table of some sort. And we have lots of options. You could have a square table and a little bit of seating. You could have a very long farm type table if you have a big family or you like to entertain. Then this space might be more conducive to having dining room furniture underneath it as opposed to the chat group. And lastly, if this is your oasis and this is a place you want to come for solitude and peace, or you want to just read, or you want to do nothing but stare up into the sky, perhaps you would want a chaise lounge in here instead of any furniture. Certainly you want a long sofa so that you could lie down and be comfortable. But know that, again, there are no rules. You can mix and match that. You could have a small bistro set with 2 small chairs. You can mix it up, whatever works for you. We do like to tell you that when you do an outdoor room, you should use outdoor products. They hold up much better to the elements. The cushions will breathe better. They'll wick water away. They won't mold. This is an example of beautiful melamine, and it's plastic, so even if you dropped it on the ground or it got blown in the wind, it would not break. And the same with anything electrical. You would want to be sure that you were using an outdoor power cord and outdoor lighting that is conducive to be outside. Okay, now's the fun part. Now you get to decorate your room, which is the most exciting and fun thing to do. And the way to do that is to choose what kind of theme do you want. Do you want something with a lot of color, which certainly can be introduced outside? Do you want to be very neutral and work yourself into the outdoors very inconspicuously? Do you want to go very contemporary and go black and white, very sharp and sleek? Any of those are good options. Everybody should do whatever suits them. And maybe it's something completely different than the rest of your house and you want to try something new. And you decorate with the same things you would decorate inside. Pillows offer great color and they're very interchangeable. You can change every season. This year you're all blues, maybe next year you're blue and green. You can do that however you choose. We have canvas wall art that works outside that you could put up against a wall, create a lot of color that way. We have decorations hanging from our pergola, our lovely pergola. We have a lot here, but it looks so beautiful. And then we have bud vases, we have lanterns, so many things. So some suggestions I like to make to people is you can go out and buy these things and maybe buy a couple of pieces. Perhaps you're changing up a room in your home and you've got some extra pieces left over from decorating inside that you want to introduce outside. That's all fair game. If you have a favorite pillow that you're no longer using inside and you want to bring it outside and establish that as your new decorum, that's great too. Understand that you'll probably only get 1 year extra life out of it being outside, but it can be the foundation for your decorating. Like with all homes, you need to have some kind of lighting. So here we have these great outdoor string lights. They're commercial grade, they're fabulous. Very safe, they can get wet. Inside of our lantern, we have battery operated candles, but we also have these seed lights hanging for ambiance and a little brilliance. You could do candles. Obviously, candles burning is always something that makes a room very ambient. And I tell people, everybody half burns a candle and they leave those in their house and they don't reuse them because that's not what they want to use for their guests. Bring those things outside. Get some use out of this stuff that you have around your house. Light them up, place them all around, just blow them out at night, but it creates a beautiful environment. Then we like to talk about sound. Music is always a wonderful thing to have in an outdoor room. Obviously, there are great outdoor speakers that are available, plus your own personal Siri or your own personal stereo system. Those are easy to use out. You can bring them in and out without any risk of anything being hurt. But wind chimes make also a great noise. Something to hang up in your pergola. or on a garden stake to the side of your room, because with the wind coming through, it just makes a fabulous noise and creates a great area of serenity. In the fall, something you'll want to do is introduce fire. Not to burn anything down, but fire for a fire pit. So that's when you want to bring the candles out. Perhaps you want to set a small fire pit outside. There are propane fire pits that are maybe a little less risky as far as burning, that you could keep something low and underneath your outdoor room. But fire is something you want to introduce for fall, because that extends the life of your outdoor room and makes it just a wonderful place to gather in the fall. So then lastly, what we like to decorate with here at Bachman's are plants. You can do many different options here. You can, if you're wanting to create this space that it just immerses yourself into nature, maybe you only want to bring green plants into your room, which is completely acceptable. And those green plants can then in the fall move into your house. You want to be sure to read up on how to do that so you don't bring bugs in, but any green plants that you leave outside for the summer certainly can come back into your home, and they actually thrive well outside in the summer. But the other thing that we like to use is color. We had one of our designers make these fabulous containers. We have a hanging basket here in the background. Over here we have a green plant. We have green plants seeded throughout to create our atmosphere and environment. And this is where you can also bring color into your room. So when we do color, we look at the color spectrum of the rainbow. Roy G. Biv, we call it. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. And for people that are concerned with how to decorate, there are a couple of ways you can approach this. You can go within your color spectrum, red, orange, and yellows, the warm colors, or you can go with blue, green, and the violets, the cool colors. Or you can take from the opposite side of each of the color wheel and do violet and orange, which is pretty much what we've done here. So anything goes. And I think that's what we're trying to teach you here, is that you should just step outside. If you're not sure that you want to buy things yet because you're not sure what you want to do, pull some of your old pieces of furniture, things that are in the garage, create a room, live with it for a little bit, and learn what you want to use and not use, and then go out and buy things to fill it in. Like I said, outdoor cushions are very inexpensive and they bring a ton of color to your room. So what we want you to do is enjoy your room. Don't just build it, sit in it. Invite friends over, invite your family over, and enjoy your time.
Leslie, we do have a question.
Oh, yes.
People love the blue.
Yes.
But they're wondering what the two fuchsia plants are behind you, hanging, and then this one in the front container right here.
This?
Yep.
Okay. So this back hanging basket, that is called a bougainvillea. That is a tropical plant. We do carry those at Bachman's. We actually grow those down in our greenhouse, which is pretty amazing because they're a tropical that you'll see all over Florida. And this here, this purple fuchsia color, that's just an impatiens. It's an impatiens pot that we also grow here at Bachman's, so I'm glad you're picking things that we grow. It's called a side hole, so it fills in all around the sides and creates a lot of color. Any other questions? Well, I want to thank everybody for joining me today. This is my first segment that I've done. I hope to do more in the future. We will be open this weekend. Our hours are Saturday 9 to 7, Sunday 9 to 6, Monday 9 to 7. Be sure to come and join us. We've created a very safe environment for you to shop. We have beautiful product, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you. Bye.